Banks blacklist the Perth Mint. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. And here I'm with Edward, our newest little bundle, who doesn't want to go to sleep, so he's taking the place of my stein of coffee as I record this episode. And I thought we'd have a look at this article from the Australian Financial Review regarding some banks blacklisting Perth Mint and, well, looking at the reasons as to why they are, well, blacklisting the Perth Mint. And banks, I mean, they're so legitimate, good organisations that have never been involved in money laundering, racketeering, or global corruption at all. Not at all. What do you think, Eddie? You going to go to sleep for daddy? We'll see. So, two of the world's biggest banks have blacklisted the Perth Mint. Two of the world's largest banks, HSBC and JP Morgan, have stopped buying gold from the Perth Mint, citing potential damage to their reputation and concerns the government-owned refiner could lose its London accreditation. The black ban follows revelations in the Australian Financial Review that the miner was buying up to $200 million of gold a year from convicted killer in Papua New Guinea, and that child labour and toxic mercury was present in its supply chain. And here we have an image of children often work with their families mining gold in Papua New Guinea, in PNG. And let's just jump over to the Observatory of Economic Complexity, and let's have a look at Papua New Guinea. Now, this is the least complex country in their database. It's ranked at 137 out of 137 in the world. Their exports are $8.53 billion. Their exports per capita are only $991. PNG isn't a rich country. The top exports of PNG are gold. Gold is their number one export. Then petroleum, then rough wood, and then crude petroleum. And if we scroll down here, we can see the 25.9% of their exports are gold. And where does it go to? We'll just click on that and wait for it to update. There you go. 97.6% of it is going to Australia. And I wonder how much of that is actually coming to the Perth Mint. To the Perth Mint. Now, another thing to consider is the Human Development Index. This is the value, essentially how advanced PNG is from a human development scale. And we can see they've climbed up significantly since the 90s. Under 0.4 to over 5, 0.54. But they're still ranked pretty low in the world. Let's look at the life expectancy. It's 64.3 years. What else do we have? You've got a whole lot of data here. Education. Expected years of schooling is 10 years of education for people in PNG. Yeah. The income, composition of resources, the GNI, gross national income per capita, is $3,686. It makes you wonder, what would PNG be like if they'd remained in Australian territory? Maybe not that much different. There's no information on gender, work, employment, and vulnerability. Employment of population percent at 15 and over is 45.7%. Nothing on human security, nothing on trade and financial flows, mobility and communication. 11% of people in PNG are internet users, everyone. Only 11% are internet users. So that shows you. What else do we have here? Socioeconomic stability. Skilled labour force is only 26.7% of the population. So the fact that, well, children are working with their family in gold production, I can't say it would be too surprising. I mean, it's traditional culture. It happens all the time. So the investigation by the LBMA, which says it was taking the revelations very seriously, has seen HSBC suspend purchases of 400-ounce gold bars and the smaller 1 kilo bars from the mint. JP Morgan has suspended purchases of the 1 kilo bars. The mint, which is owned and guaranteed by the West Australian government, is the largest refiner of newly mined gold in the world. Well, I knew they were a big miner, I knew they were a big brand, but I didn't know they were the largest refiner in the world. And he is just not going to sleep, are you? Both the banks, HSBC and JP Morgan, are concerned that by doing business with the mint, they could be implicated in its troubles. One source who has spoken with staff at the two banks about the new policies say. They are concerned their own reputation could be brought into question. What do you think about that, little guy? Huh? What do you think? That the banks are worried about their own reputation? I think it's quite funny. I really do. Another issue for the banks, citing the source, was that they could suffer heavy losses if the Mint lost its LBMA accreditation and they were holding its gold at the time. HSBC and JP Morgan declined to comment. In a statement, the Mint said it was precluded by its governing legislation from publicly commenting about any of its customers. The Mint, which is overseen by WA Premier Mark McGowan, previously claimed to have the highest standards for responsible sourcing. Insiders have questioned this claim and said the Mint was paying little more than lip service to its pledge by dealing with PNG gold firm Golden Valley. Golden Valley is owned by Justin Parker, who was convicted of manslaughter in August 2017 and sentenced to 13 years jail after beating his helicopter mechanic to death. He was released on parole last year. I mean, PNG is another world. Have you ever done any business with anyone from PNG? Let us know in the comments. I've had one meeting with a gentleman who came over here and wanted to look at building some towers in Port Moresby, some real estate towers in Port Moresby. If you know anything about Port Moresby, it's a very hilly city, and it seemed like just the whole deal, how they wanted us to work and the people that they were talking to seemed really, really dodgy. Really dodgy. So yeah, share any stories you've had in the comments, guys, because that was one job I was quite happy that I walked away from. In addition, Golden Valley's managing director Luke von Boehm admitted child labour and mercury were used by the small scale or alluvian miners for whom it purchased gold. This gold was then on-sold to the Mint, which purchased about 200 million of metal from the Golden Valley last year, according to insiders. When a Mint employee asked a delegation of senior managers from Golden Valley how they dealt with competition in PNG, a representative said, "It's easy, a gun to the back of the head." Well, I mean, this is PNG, everyone. This is Papua New Guinea. They're countries that aren't as, let's say, civilized, frankly, as some of those that we're used to. I love the fact all the people, particularly all the sustainability hippies, want to save the world, and then all their phones, devices, and electronics, just all the conflict diamonds or conflict resources or the slave labor involved in that, they never even mention or never even discuss. The Mint has since suspended all purchases from alluvian gold miners in PNG, and its chairman Sam Walsh and Mr. McGowan have pledged to an investigation by an independent third party. Well, if they've suspended it. This review will specifically consider the Golden Valley matter and all existing customers, and make recommendations about whether there needs to be tighter controls in the future, a spokesman for the WA Premier said in mid-June. The LBMA said its incident review process has been triggered by the revelations about Golden Valley, and it would investigate the potential breach. As part of its ethical sourcing accreditation, refiners commit to not buying gold that promotes conflict or human rights abuses, including child labour, and also commit to ensuring that the production is sustainably sourced. Failure to adhere to the MBMA's responsible sourcing program will result in the removal of the refiner from the good dealers lists, the association has said. In addition to potentially having its LBMA accreditation revoked, the West Australian corruption watchdog has begun making inquiries about the Mint, following allegations of nepotism and related party dealings. Well, there you have it, everyone. While the gold price surges, Perth Mint gets dragged through the mud in the media, and we'll have to see. I mean, you've got to understand, this could be lucrative money-making opportunities for some families in those nations. It could be the best source where they could make a living. And having your children work in the family business, I mean, is that such a strange thing? There's another video I'll release later today where they're discussing job vacancies. And in one example, in regional Queensland, one example, someone's having trouble getting workers to come and work on his orchard, to prune the plants. And I was suggesting that's what you need a big family for. Get the kids on the farm. But there you go. I would have lost my accreditation right there, putting the kids to work. Maybe that's just my expectations, hey? What do you all think, everyone? Does this concern you with Perth Mint losing their accreditation? Do you have assets that you're holding with the Perth Mint? Yeah, would you withdraw them? Or do you think it'll all just blow over eventually? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. And if you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. I think Eddie has fallen asleep, and I will see you all again next time. Take care.